Hello friends, my name is Amanda Kraus and I have made this presentation to teach you more about vitamin B12. Let's get started. What is vitamin B12? First of all, it is one of the 8 B vitamins. Overall, all B vitamins help the body convert food, which is essentially carbohydrates, into fuel, glucose, which is used to produce energy. B vitamins are also needed for healthy skin, hair, eyes, and liver. Vitamin B12 is a water-soluble vitamin, which means that the body does not store them. Also, vitamin B12 has another name and is known as covalent. How much is needed? How much do I need? The recommended dietary allowance is an estimated amount of a nutrient or calories per day that is necessary for the maintenance of good health. For men and women, the RDA is the same, 2.4 micrograms per day. There is no upper limit to vitamin B12, but the intake of vitamin B12 form food in the US typically exceeds the RDA. Adult men average 6.3 micrograms per day, and adult women get 4.6 micrograms per day. There are no adverse effects that have been observed with excessive amounts of vitamin B12 intake from food or supplements. Daily value, which is a term on food labels based on the RDA, can be found on nutrition labels. For vitamin B12, it is 6 micrograms. I'm going to start with the rundown of the major functions of vitamin B12. So B12 is an especially important vitamin for maintaining healthy nerve cells, and it helps in the production of DNA and RNA, which is the body's genetic material. Vitamin B12 works closely with vitamin B9, also called folate or folic acid, to help make red blood cells and to help iron work better in the body. Folate and B12 work together to produce adenosine methansine, which is also known as SAMe, a compound which is involved in immune function and mood. Vitamin B12 is also required for enzymatic reactions. Where can one find vitamin B12? Here is a list of foods that contain vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is mostly found in foods that are of animal origin, so that's meat or poultry, seafood, eggs, and dairy products. The rich sources of vitamin B12 are organ meats such as liver, kidneys, and heart. Also fortified foods like cereal. Deficiencies are what happens when there isn't enough vitamin B12 in your diet or in your body. Low levels of B12 symptoms can include fatigue, shortness of breath, diarrhea, nervousness, numbness, tingling sensation in fingers and toes. Severe deficiency of B12 can cause nerve damage. For young people, it is rare to be deficient in vitamin B12, but it is not uncommon for older people to be mildly deficient. This can be caused by their diets or just because they have less stomach acid, which is needed for absorption in vitamin B12. People who are specifically at risk are vegans and vegetarians because they're not eating dairy or eggs, and vitamin B12 is found in these animal products. Also, those who have problems absorbing nutrients due to Crohn's disease, pancreatic disease, weight loss surgery, or medications. People who are also at risk of deficiencies are people with eating disorders, if they have HIV, or with diabetes, or the elderly. Pernicious anemia is one of the main deficiencies that occurs when the body can't absorb enough vitamin B12. Pernicious anemia is an autoimmune disease that affects the gastric mucosa and results in gastric atrophy. It is a type of anemia that happens when stomach cells are not able to make the intrinsic factor. Without the intrinsic factor, your body cannot absorb vitamin B12. Some symptoms of this disease can include weakness, pale skin, diarrhea, weight loss, fever, numbness or tingling sensation in the hands and feet, loss of balance, confusion, memory loss, and moodiness. It is known that this disease can result from the inadequate production of the intrinsic factor required for vitamin B12 absorption. Vitamin B12 deficiency also results from malnutrition, which is caused by various stomach and intestinal problems and the use of some medications. Vitamin B12 supplements in high doses, either given as injections or orally, are prescribed to treat pernicious anemia. Can somebody be at risk for intaking too much vitamin B12? The answer is no. Because there is no upper intake or upper limit of how much vitamin B12 you can intake, there's no toxicity because there has not been any observed symptoms due to that. The most interesting thing that I've learned about vitamin B12 is that it relieves fatigue. How? One of the problems with having low levels of vitamin B12 in the body is that this is essential for DNA synthesis. Red blood cells tend to synthesize DNA at very high rates. This means that the production and regeneration of red blood cells can be seriously impaired by a lack of B12. The primary consequence of this is megaloblastic anemia, and what's one of the most common symptoms of anemia? It's actually fatigue. So, B vitamins, specifically vitamin B6 and B12, are commonly found in pre-workouts. Why would it be in a pre-workout? Well, this vitamin helps with nerve function. For example, there are some days that we may feel much better than usual, and that is what B12 does to the system. It helps our nerves get higher amounts of energy, and as they conduct more energy, we feel light as a feather and more energized. This sense of full energy is essential during exercise for it, and allows us to work out for a longer period of time and more intensely. Another reason why B12 is in pre-workout is because B12 vitamins also help the muscle tissue stretch with ease. As we work out, some muscle groups stretch and their opposite muscle groups contract. With this vitamin, we don't feel the burning and the resistance on the muscles in the same levels. The exercise then becomes easier for us and can last longer. This is one of the main reasons why top pre-workout supplements contain levels of B12 vitamin. While researching, I came across an article written this month about a study done claiming new research has found that children lacking in vitamin B12 have a more difficult time carrying out cognitive tasks, such as completing puzzles, recognizing letter, and interpreting other children's feelings. There is a lead researcher, Ingrid, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Kvestad, from the Uni Research, which is in Norway. She had a team of colleagues collect blood samples from 500 infants in Nepal to measure their B12 status. In low-income countries such as Nepal, many of the people just eat limited amount of meat and other animal products, which then in turn has a poor vitamin B12 status in many people's bodies. So what happened in this study was after 5 years of collecting the samples, the team then collected 320 of the children from that 500 in the beginning and gave them various developmental and cognitive tests. The results showed that poor B12 status as a baby was associated with a decrease in test scores at 5 years of age, with children showing difficulties in interpreting complex geometrical figures and the ability to recognize other children's emotions. The findings suggest that a vitamin B12 deficiency impairs or could delay brain development in small children, with the results supporting previous research that also suggested that vitamin B12 is important for developing brain. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope that you have learned something new and have enjoyed my presentation. I've enjoyed researching and understanding the micronutrient B12 vitamin a little better. Have a great day.